Hello everyone, Phoenix61 here, more Skull and Bones today, right? So, this week kicked off the what is this, the Mooncake Regatta, right? Basically the race, right? They've changed it up a little bit from last season, where if you take damage, you lose some of these mooncakes, I guess, and you need a certain amount, right, to turn the mission in. I think you need like 88, which is very, very much so doable, right? So I'll show you where to pick this up, but I wanted to start off with just going into the race and using my, the path that I chose to do here. But you'll see I basically go kind of in towards the, through the rivers first here. And this very, very easily gets you under the 6-minute mark that you need to get your sort of max rewards, right? And then puts you in a decent spot on the leaderboard. And then I think that also sets you up for, there is a grand regatta reward or whatever, at the end, once you've, at the end of the race event, and you've done all three, right? I think you need to have a total time of under 20 minutes or something, right? So try not to run into land like I just did there, but as you can see, even with me doing that, we're still gonna finish this with time to spare, to be honest. So but yes, running into land never really is helpful, and ships get in the way, right? So you don't have to be perfect. I think the important thing is to use this ship, the Brigantine, right? And then make sure you're using the water barrels. I'd say as often as you can. Sometimes there's some better spots to use them than not, right? But if you always have it going or always on cooldown, right? Then you should be good, right? But yeah, going off into a straight, a straightaway, area is probably a really good choice. You can see I even go in there and just spam it when it's about to come to this part here. So with this ship and this build, we do have, I think it's the rope lockers or whatever, right, where you get a boost to acceleration if you, when you go up to max trim, you get a boost of acceleration if you have stamina maxed out, right? So you'll see me consume food items, right when we're, if we're not going at trim speed, right, if we're not maxed out on speed, you'll see me consume food items to try and get, for when we do accelerate, right, to try and get that little burst of speed, and that's super, super helpful, right? So that it makes everything easier, right? Honestly, I think, as long as you've got this ship and then some of the furniture pieces that I'll go through and show you, you shouldn't have a problem, right? Take this path that I'm taking here, right? Honestly, when you look at the map, it kind of makes sense, right? These rivers are tough, right? So I probably should have slowed down a little more there, but even still, it didn't really slow me down that much, and I don't think I'm taking any damage, right? I don't think I'm losing any mooncakes, right? That's what we're allegedly collecting every time, right? So we'll head towards this one, and then we'll make the right turn around that island. Originally I was maybe I could cut inside and that would maybe save some time, but I think it just slows you down too much to try and cut inside, right? Because the buoy is right to the left of the island, right? So we'll have to go around, right, and just make life easier. Like I said, you get a little bit of a buffer, right? You don't have to do this perfectly, as long as you're using Brigantine, right, and probably a couple of the furniture pieces. There are some newer furniture pieces, either this season or even I think one of them's from season 2. And I'll show you where to get those. But otherwise, most of the furniture pieces that I'm using are easy ones to get and craft at the carpenter, right? So, but we'll show those up, right? So staying on the outside of these islands here while we pick up, I think we got, 3 more? And then again, using the water barrels as much as I can. And then, yeah, you do want a food item. I'll show you the food item that I'm using that I kind of lean towards, right? It's the God Grow Go, or whatever, right? I can never pronounce. But I'll show you. You can see it in my wheel there as well while we're doing the race. But I'd already eaten one, right, in the last 30 minutes, and the race only takes, 6 to 10 minutes, right? So, yeah. And you can see we're at 4.5 minutes over on the right now. So, when we're down to our last 2 buoys, right? So we should be just fine. These purple boosts or whatever that I'm running into here, this is more turnings, better turning, right? So that's kind of nice to hit that one because it lasts just long enough for us to kind of make this last buoy here, because we do have to kind of swing through, right? So you'll see I'm slowing down, consuming a food item, and then hitting, oh, nope, I didn't do it correctly that time, but we're good. But ideally, you'd slow down. As you slow down, you consume the food item so that your stamina's maxed out, and then when you do hit trim, it'll get you up to that 20 knots speed, like almost instantly, right? So just something to keep in mind. But like I said, you don't have to be perfect, right? I made a couple mistakes, bumped into a couple things here, and still had a little bit of time to spare, right? So I think we finished this at like about 5 minutes 30. I think I got 5:31. Let's see here when I did this. Yeah. So and then yeah, you'll get all these rewards too. I'll go and open the chests in a minute here too, but that was my first time completing that. So we got some smugglers tokens or whatever, right? So you get some for completing it in under 9 minutes, 7 minutes, and then I think the top reward's 6. I think to get maybe to get the chest or something, right? So, but yeah. So and then we got another one for completing those. Those were also challenges, right? So. Yeah, so I'll go back to St. Anne where you pick up this mission, right? This just comes from the shipbuilder guy, right? Like the shipwright, whatever you want to call him, right? So whenever these events are available, it's always through him. You go grab the mission, and then tells you what to do, right? So we got 4 tokens to spend. As you can see, I did not buy a premium pass. I did not buy extra tokens, and I'm already 45 points into the smuggler's pass, right? So we just unlocked the whatever the junk ship, the new ship, right? So I'll have to do a video on that as well. Like that did not, like, you know, a few days in and I'm getting that ship, right? And I didn't purchase any extra tokens, so highly recommend not purchasing extra tokens, right? Buy the cheaper premium pass if that's what you're interested, right? If you're going for the extra cosmetics and stuff that you get from the premium smuggler's pass, right? I have not bought it. I don't know if I'm going to, but yeah. So here's the shipwright, right? And actually we're turning in the mission here, and then I think based on timing of when I picked that last one up, it's available for me to pick it up again. So I think I grab it. And you get 200 of these, what are these things called? Tier looking things. Those are good for while the event is going. In the store, there's some cosmetic stuff you can buy, and that you can buy with using those tier things, right, instead of gold, right? So it's kind of nice that you get some of those fancy cosmetics from the store without having to spend gold, right? Well, yeah, these encrypted mooncake, right? So here's the Mooncake Regatta chest. So we got 2 of them. One from I think the 6-minute, doing it in 6 minutes maybe, and then one from turning in the mission as well. And we got just like materials and 8s from it. I didn't get anything special out of these, right? So, but I mean, I'll take the dry casting sand, right? So, some of those materials are great, and 8s, of course, are always nice and usable as well, right? So, yeah. All right, we'll do a quick little bit of cleanup, right? I like to dump anything I'm not using back into the warehouse, and then I will kind of show off the build and where to get these furniture pieces, right? So, so we'll go manage ship, and yes, this is the brigantine. Weapons don't really matter, but I'll just go in here real quick for a second. I think I have Skurlock's long 9s, like all the way around, right? So I think if you were to do, you know, like the legendary treasure map hunts, right, where it's PvP, you know, those are probably a good idea for trying to like slow other people down, right? And then you get the longer range too. And then I have LeFleur on here for the Ox weapon, just the, you know, zaps people's stamina, right? So, but this isn't really a PvP build, right? I do have Leviathan on here just because you get a little bit more armor per knot of sailing speed. I don't really know if this is worth it, right? Like, if I'm doing any sort of combat, I'm probably picking a different armor piece, right? Because you're not always going that fast, right? But furniture, I would say, is where it's at for speed, right? So rope locker for the major furniture. I think this is one of the first ones you get when you start the game, right? Like, this is one of the first major pieces of furniture that you get. So really goes well with the brigantine, right? If you're doing a speed build, this is kind of a must. And then Lamari Makanan, or I'm sure I can't say half of these words right, but this one is giving you some stamina recovery and increases your max stamina overall. And then this one, the Secret Cache 1, here we're going for the acceleration and the better turning speed that we get from those pieces. So those last two pieces are kind of the harder ones to get, and I'll show you where to get those, right? So leather ropes, right, reduces crew stamina. This lighted mass increases acceleration. And then there's another one that looks very, very similar to the lighted mass for the 6th spot, right? And this increases acceleration and deceleration, right? Balanced mass. So that is sort of the loadout, right? Okay, so the one of the newer pieces, I think this Lamari Makanan, right? This one you can get from, you can buy the blueprint. So I think it was a world drop for a while for like maybe for like last season's boss, right? But now you can buy the blueprint from Rama, so I'll go show you that from her right now. And then the other one is actually available from William Blackwood. Yeah, there's like a glitch when you enter anybody that sells anything and the prices change, so like right at the like top of the hour, right, it like doesn't show the stuff. So just go out and then go back in if you ever see that happen. But yeah, so go into the buy and sell. So he's got some stuff that looks like it's going to be rotating probably weekly, right? So I would just always check here. But these this is the Secret Cache 1, right? So he has this for sale this week right now. So I would go in and grab that. The other one, honestly, the one right next to it is really good furniture piece too, so I would maybe grab this as well, right? This is different, this would be for a combat build, but this is really good for that reduces basically fire effects, right? So it's really good for fighting this leather fashioning station, right? Really good for fighting the season 3 bosses, right? The current season, because they do some fire attacks, and it's also really good at fighting like sandbooks, right? If you're doing any PvP, right? Like, because they're always going to be shoving fire down your throat. Right? So and then I skipped ahead to where Admiral Rama is, right? And so this is the Lamari Makanan 1, right? So this has the gives you the more stamina, right? So you can buy the blueprint from her for the Blue Lotus Opium, right? So you do have to have progressed far enough in the story to unlock the East Indies area, as well as the Helm area where you can produce the opium, right? So basically, if you don't have her yet, if you haven't met Admiral Rama yet, right, just keep playing through the story to be able to get to her. But like I said, you don't, and yeah, so this is where we are, right? East Indies, right? So this is Talak Panjar, right? It's the St. Anne equivalent over on that side. But like I said, you don't need every furniture, like you don't have to have the exact same loadout, right? Like if you can get a couple of those furniture pieces, you'll probably be fine, right? And this is the food item that I kind of tend to lean towards. The Gadro, right? That's probably the best I've said it this far. Just because it gives you the kind of the stamina perks, right? And then the water barrels, right? So I have these both on my like quick access wheel while we are sailing, right? And then that just gives you that increased sailing speed, right? And then if you go into the menus, you can tab over to where the little bell is, right? And you can see the leaderboards and get some of the event info here, right? So course 1 just unlocked this week, and I think that every week it's a different course, right? So you just go in, make sure you do it at least once, and then that puts you on, gives you a chance to get on that grand ranking, right? So then over here on the bottom, right, there's, if you want to read all of these, the objectives and the courses info, but in the bottom right, it says leaderboard rewards, right? Get a grand ranking of 20 minutes or less to get Firelight. right? So there's a reward for, you know, basically scoring, you know, around that 6-minute mark on all 3 courses, right? So then you get an additional reward, right? But so I'll show you in the store too. So these, I keep forgetting to like look at what the currency name is called, but these teardrop looking things, right? So they did this last time too. There was like the summer race event or whatever from season 2, where there were, you know, during the event, if you can collect enough of those, you know, that currency, you can buy these items in the store for that currency instead of spending the real money currency, which is the gold, right? So I don't know, some of these ship cosmetics look pretty cool. Like I'm toggling between day and night here, right? So like that actually like glows and kind of lights up, right? So that's pretty cool. Yeah, the exterior stuff, the ornaments on the outside, yeah, the helm decor is fine, whatever, right? Like not as excited about that, but right, it's nice to be able to do an event like that and get these items for free, right? There's the Lady of the Moon firework that you can get, right? So free just from basically you just gotta do the races enough, right? Do those events enough to get that currency, and then you should be able to buy these items without spending your real cash, right? So yeah, that is the race event for at least the first course here. We'll see, you know, if you guys have any other suggestions for furniture pieces or like loadouts for ships, absolutely leave them in the comments. Also, please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Really do appreciate that. I am on the struggle bus to get to 1,000 subscribers. That really helps me out on the YouTube side of things and motivates me to create more content. If you like this type of stuff, right, if you like my Skull and Bones videos, please push the like button as well. Always appreciate that. But yes, that is our video for the day, right? And I will have more Skull and Bones videos coming along as the season progresses. We will definitely be doing another Pieces of 8 one, right? Those seem to be popular amongst my Skull and Bones followers, guys, right? So, all right, until next time, guys, thanks again.